This is highwithoutcoke, and today I would like to discuss the charm mods that I think are good for our Stormburst Totem build. Even though I listed these mods for Stormburst Totem, they're actually viable for any totem builds. The green ones are in my opinion the best mods in their respective area. Just in case you don't know yet, Lupine Charm only gives mods from a dexterity class. So, for example, you will find Assassin's Lupine Charm of the Pathfinder, but you will not find Assassin's Lupine Charm of the Chieftain, because Chieftain is a strength-only class. Also, a magic charm can only have a prefix and a suffix. You will not find any magic charm with these mods together, as they are both suffixes. Now you know how to mix and match the mods you want. Another thing is charm stack. Take this as an example. We have 4 permanent endurance charges, which means that if you stack this mod, you will get at least 48% increased chaos resistance. Chaos resistance is very important in this league, especially when you're up against the purple monsters in Wildwood. GGG has tried to fit as much chaos damage into the game as possible throughout the years. For example, Degen, damage mods in Ultimatum, and now the purple monsters in Affliction. You can no longer run around with negative chaos resistance. At the very least, you need to get it to positive res. So yeah, this mod is good for our build if you are struggling to get your chaos res up. Totems taunt enemies. If you remember, this was one of the mods from the Totem Mastery. I think it was removed last league, and now it is back. This debuff creates an aggro, causing the monsters to target the totems instead of you, while at the same time dealing 10% less damage to you, who aren't the source of the taunt. If you want to get more HP, you can get this mod. If you want to get more block, let's say if you spec into these nodes here, or glancing blows, then this is the mod you can consider. The other best defensive mod is spell suppression. I have come out with a POB with full spell suppression for Stormburst Totem. I will talk more about this later. In terms of offense, Assassin's mod crit multi per power charge gives the highest damage, followed by Inquisitor's damage penetration. If you want to have even better clear speed, you can get increased AoE per power charge. I also have a section for improved quality of life. Movement speed cannot be modified to below base value is nice. We are playing a totem build, which means that having good mobility to dodge properly is the key to survivability. There are a lot of mechanics in the game that slow you down right now. Chill, Tar, and some debuff in Delirium, just to name a few. Increased effect of magic utility flask. This is good for anything. It can increase your damage, your armor, or your movement speed, depending on the flask you use. The last one, flask gain a charge every 3 seconds. If you stack 3 charms with this mod, it basically gives you the Ascendancy skill, Nature's Adrenaline from Pathfinder, so you will have longer flask uptime. Now let's talk about the POB for full spell suppression. You will need to stack at least 2 charms with the spell suppress mod. Ideally, you want to get the charms that gives crit multi per power charge and spell suppress together. Best combo offensively and defensively, but the charms are quite expensive right now. So other budget charms you can consider are Mark Effect or Onslaught Effect combined with Spell Suppress. Next, you must unspec these nodes and spec into the Spell Suppress nodes here. I have a passive tree for level 100 just in case anyone wants to level up to that point. If you use 3 charms with the Spell Suppress mod, you will now have around 60 to 70% chance to suppress spell damage. You can then get the rest from your gears. For example, your gloves and your boots. You can also get some from the Eldritch implicit on your gloves if you don't mind giving up some damage. Now, why did I choose to use Agnerod West instead of Annihilating Light for this version? Agnerod West allows you to be more flexible with your gears, and the overall budget should be cheaper. You can also use a +2 wand and a shield instead of Agnerod West. You get another 6 to 7 million DPS, but obviously more expensive. As for Annihilating Light, due to the reduced elemental resistances from the weapon, you will have to replace Wrath with Purity of Elements to cap resist and therefore lose the damage from Wrath. In the end, it's a whole lot more tanky, full spell suppression and elemental ailment immunity, but the damage is like 40 to 50 million with frenzy charges up, which is only slightly higher than the spell suppressed version with a wand and a shield. So now, I have two versions for late endgame. The Annihilating Light version can reach much higher damage, but it is squishy. However, if you are a DPS warrior or a skillful player, then you can go for this setup. I highly recommend going spell suppressed version because Affliction is quite deadly, tons of chaos damage and even more random one-shots. I like that this version gives you a lot of flexibility. You can fit in spell suppress, on top of that some chaos ras, which is very important in this league. Alright, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Feel free to comment below if you have any question and I will reply as soon as possible. Thank you and see you next time.